Hello everyone. Today my presentation will be on a very important topic is time division multiplexing, that is TDM. You know that this is very important multiplexing system of digital communication system as well as data communication system. So TDM is very important in respect of today's scenario. So this is the outline of my presentation, that is all about time division multiplexing and some mathematical expression of some parameters. So now let's start. What is time division multiplexing? It is an important feature of the multiplexing or rather sampling process, and it is a based on conservation of time. That is, the transmission of the message samples engages the communication channel for only a fraction of the sampling interval on a periodic basis. That is, suppose you want to transmit, there are a lot of nodes are connected within a network system, and suppose n number of nodes are there. So suppose you want to transmit some message or signals from one node to another, and suppose at a particular time 2, 3 or 5 or 6 number of nodes are parallelly wants to transmit signals or messages to the other nodes, to the other destination. So what happens? These 6 or 7 number of nodes are giving their signals or messages to the multiplexing channel. So now whenever 6, 7 number of signals are coming into the channel, so it is obvious that some signals are interfere to each other, or rather say overlapped to each other. So sometimes it will be happen that some messages or signals are lost. It will not be properly transmitted to the destination. So this happens when the network is large enough and in a particular time lots of users wants to transmit signals or data or messages or information, anything. So here it is the usage of time division multiplexing or TDM. This way some of the time interval between adjacent samples is cleared for use by other independent message sources. So it will be based on time sharing basis. So TDM is a system which enables the joint utilization of common communication channel by many of the independent messages or message sources without mutual interference among them. Now the concept of TDM is given in the next slide in the block diagram. See here lots of messages are there, 1, 2, 3 up to n, and a series of low pass filters are there. The output of the low pass filters are connected into a commutator switch, and these commutator switch are passed through the pulse modulator, communication channel, then pulse demodulator, and again in a decommutator at the receiver end. And then decommutator switch, the outputs are coming into the low pass filter, the series of low pass filters, and from where the output messages 1, 2, 3 up to n are coming, that is developed. So that means from one side it is a transmitter, some n number of message inputs, and at the output side there will be same again n number of outputs. So each input message signal is first restricted in bandwidth by using a low-pass filter, or you can say low-pass anti-aliasing filter, to remove the frequencies that are not essential to an adequate signal representation. The low-pass filter outputs are applied to a commutator switch. The function of the commutator is twofold. First, to take a narrow sample of each of the n input messages at a rate of fs that is slightly higher than 2W, where W is the cutoff frequency of the anti-aliasing filter. And secondly, to sequentially interleave these n samples inside the sampling interval Ts. So the multiplexed signal is applied to a pulse modulator, the purpose of which is to transform the multiplexed signal into a form of suitable to transmit over the common channel. At the receiving end of the system, the received signal is applied to the pulse demodulator, which performs the reverse operation of the pulse modulator. Now, the narrow samples produced at the pulse demodulator output are distributed to the appropriate low-pass reconstruction filters by means of the decommutator, and which operates in synchronization with the commutator in the transmitter side. Synchronization depends on the method of pulse modulation used to transmit the multiplexed sequence of samples. So this is the operation of TDM according to the block diagram given. So you see, this operation is already I have discussed in the previous block diagram according to the previous block diagram. So this I am now skip the slides. Now coming into the some important concepts, parameters of TDM. First is Ts seconds is 1 by Ts rotation. So speed of the commutator is 1 rotation by Ts second. So Fs into 60 rotations per minute. Second is n signals which are time division multiplexed and they are band limited to same frequency, then frame size will be Ts is equal to capital N into small n into Tb. Now third is the sampling rate, Fs is equal to Rb by N into N, capital N into small n. Fourth is the bit rate, Rb is equal to capital N into small n into Fs, sampling rate. Fifth is the bandwidth, Rb by 2, that means bit rate, half of bit rate. Sixth is to ensure speed synchronization, small amount of additional bits will be transmitted at the end of each frame, and these bits are called the synchronization bits. So if we add some extra A bits as synchronization bits, so now Ts will be n capital N into small n plus A whole into Tb. That means whole into multiplied with Tb. And sampling rate will be now Fs is equal to Rb by capital N into small n plus A. Now take some example, a problem to give you the better experience about the set parameters of mathematical expression. Now given in the problem 1, 5 message signals each having frequency of 2 kHz are multiplexed using a TDM system. Now number of quantization levels used are 256. Now find out the transmission bandwidth of the system. So solution will be capital N here, it will be 5, small FM modulating frequency will be 2 kHz and L will be 256 levels. So therefore n will be, small n will be 8, 2 to the power 8 means 256, so n will be 8. So we close P. We know that NR is equal to 2 FM. Fs is equal to NR, that is 2 FM, that is 2 into 2, 4 kilohertz. And bandwidth will be RB by 2, half of RB, we know that. And RB here, small n capital N into Fs by 2. So it will be 8 into 5 into 4 divided by 2. So 160 by 2, that is 80 kilohertz. In the second problem, 10 signals, each with band limited of 2 kilohertz, are multiplexed using TDM. Time taken by commutator to make one complete rotation is 125 microseconds. So find out the bit rate of the transmitter if 5-bit encoder is used. So given in the solution that capital N is equal to 10 here, Fm is equal to 2 kilohertz, Ts is equal to 125 microseconds, and small n is equal to 5 bits per sample. So simply just put the value of all these parameters into Fs, into RB, bit rate. So you can get the bit rate. So Fs is equal to 1 by Ts, that is 1 by 125 microseconds, it will be 8 kilohertz. So now the formulation of mathematical expression of bit rate, RB is equal to capital N small n into Fs. So you just multiply it 5 into 10 into 8, you get 400 kbps. In the third problem, it will be 10 sinusoidal message signals, each having frequency of 10 kilohertz, are multiplexed using TDM. Sampling rate is 25% higher than the NR. Maximum quantization error can be at most of 1% of peak-to-peak amplitude of message signal. 5 number of synchronization bits are transmitted at the end of each frame. Find the bit rate of the transmitter. So now given capital N is equal to 10, Fm is equal to 10 kilohertz, Fs is equal to 1.25 NR, because it is said that 25%, it is said that sampling rate is 25% higher than the NR. So Fs is equal to 1.25 NR, A is equal to 5. So Q max is equal to 1% of the peak to peak amplitude. It will be Fs is equal to 1.25 NR or 1.25 2 FM. That is 1.25 into 20 kilohertz, it becomes 25 kilohertz. Fs now becomes 25 kilohertz. Now QE less than is equal to 1% of 2 AM. So it becomes delta by 2 must be less than is equal to 0.02 AM. So half of 2 AM by 2 to the power n must be greater than less than is equal to 0.02 AM. So it becomes 2 to the power n greater than is equal to 50. So if we take 2 to the power n is equal to 50 and it is nearly approximated into the 2 to the power some number, then it becomes n is equal to, we get n is equal to 6. So bit rate will be RB is equal to small n into capital N plus A into Fs. So if we put down the value of the parameters, we get 1625 kbps. In the next problem, problem number 4, it is said that 10 signals each band limited to 2 kilohertz are multiplexed using TDM. Now time taken by commutator to make a complete revolution of 125 microsecond. Find out the bit rate of the transmitter if 5-bit encoder is used. So given all the value, n is equal to 10, Fm is equal to 2 kilohertz, Ts is equal to 125 microsecond and small n is equal to 5 bits per sample. So Nyquist rate will be Fs is equal to 2 into Fm, that is 10 kilohertz. So Rp is equal to small n into capital N into Fs. If we put down the value of all these parameters, we get 400 kbps. So it is very simple example. So in the next problem 5 signals are multiplexed using TDM with Fm is equal to 5 kilohertz and number of quantization levels are 256. Find the transmission bandwidth of the system. So solution will be here capital N is equal to 5, Fm is equal to 5 kilohertz, 2 to the power n is equal to 256, that is n is equal to 8. Nyquist rays Fs is equal to 2 Fm, so 10 kilohertz. And we know that bandwidth Rb by 2, so that means n small n capital N Fs by 2. So after putting all the value, we get it will be 200 kilohertz. In the problem 6, if 10 sinusoidal signals, each frequency of 10 kilohertz are multiplexed using a TDM system and having sampling rate of 25% higher than Nyquist rate, if 6 bits are used at the encoder, find the bit rate at the transmitter if number of synchronization is added to 5. So given in the solution, n is equal to 10, Fm is equal to 10 kilohertz, Fs is equal to 1.25 nr, and A is equal to 5. So putting the value, we get Rb is equal to 1625 kbps. In problem 7, 3 message signals, each band limited to 5 kilohertz, are multiplexed using FDM. Guard band is 1 kilohertz. Here it is very important, guard band is used as 1 kilohertz. Find multiplexed signal bandwidth if the modulation schemes are used are AM, amplitude modulation, DSP double sideband, and SSB single sideband respectively. So given that Fm is equal to 5 kilohertz, guard band bandwidth will be 1 kilohertz. So bandwidth of Fm is 2 Fm, bandwidth of DSP is 2 Fm, and bandwidth of SSB is equal to Fm. So total bandwidth will be 2 plus 2 plus 1, that is 5 Fm. So it will be 25 kilohertz. So therefore multiplex signal bandwidth is equal to signal bandwidth plus guard band. So bandwidth is equal to 25 kilohertz plus 2 kilohertz, that is 27 kilohertz. Why 2 kilohertz is used? Because guard band is used, that is before the signal and after the signal. So 1 kilohertz plus 1 kilohertz is added. So your signal bandwidth is 25 kilohertz and 2 kilohertz is used as guard band. It will be total with 27 kilohertz. In problem 8, 10 message signals, each band limited to 10 kilohertz, are multiplexed using FDM. Guard band is 0.5 kilohertz. Find multiplexed signal bandwidth if modulation scheme used is AM, DSP, and SSB. So given Fm is equal to 10 kilohertz and guard band will be 0.5 kilohertz. So bandwidth of Fm is equal to 2 Fm. So 20 kilohertz, guard band bandwidth will be 0.5 kilohertz. So for 10 message signals, so for 10 message signal, you have to use 9 guard band, because the first message signal there will be, before that no guard band is used. So in between 10, 9 gaps are there, so you have to use 9 guard bands. So multiplex bandwidth will be 10 into 20 kilohertz plus 9 into 0.5. So it will be 204.5 kilohertz. And in case of DSP, bandwidth of DSP is equal to 2 Fm. So it will be same as 2 into 10, 20 kilohertz, and guard band will be 0.5 kilohertz. So for 10 message signals, multiplex bandwidth will be 10 into 20 plus 9 into 0.5. So it will be again 204.5 kilohertz. And bandwidth of AM, it will be FM, only FM, that is 10 kilohertz. Guard band used is also 0.5 kilohertz, same as before. And for 10 message signals, multiplex bandwidth will be 10 into 10 plus 9 into 0.5. It will be 104.5 kilohertz. So this all about the multiplex bandwidth of AM, DSP, and SSB. So what we learn from this presentation? We learn all about the time division multiplexing, some mathematical expression of some parameters, and also I am giving you some examples with the help of problems to find out the mathematical parameters of the TDM. So this is all about the TDM. I hope you all understood this TDM system through my presentation. So I hope it will be a very happy learning with you. So thank you very much, all of you.